Thank you all for your patience as we get reused to the technology. And we're good. Good morning and welcome to the Health and Government Operations Subcommittee for Insurance and Pharmaceuticals. My name is Bonnie Cullison and I am chair of this subcommittee. We're glad that you're here today and starting the session off in 2024 with some fairly straightforward bills, but we can have a chance to learn about how the subcommittee works. I just wanted to remind folks how the subcommittees in HGO work. They are essentially providing a follow-up to our hearings. It's an opportunity for the committee to ask deeper questions than they were able to do during the hearings and really probe for information. It's a time for us as a subcommittee to determine if the bill is ready to be considered for a vote. If ready, then we vote on a bill. If not, then we consider options that will get us to consensus, if possible. If we can't get totally to consensus, we look for a place that folks might get to where it's not exactly liking the bill, but being able to live with what's in it. It also gives us an opportunity to draft amendments as needed. Some bills are going to be really quick because everybody's on board before we come into this subcommittee. Any subcommittee member can ask for a bill to be held to give us time for more internal work before another subcommittee meeting. And we have Lisa Simpson here, who is our staff for this committee and my right-hand person when it comes to actually writing and drafting language that will do what we as policymakers hope it will do. I'd like to take this moment to introduce the subcommittee meeting members. And so I'm going to ask, when I say your name, please raise your hand. It's Delegate Harry Bandari, Delegate Pam Gazzoni, Delegate Steve Johnson, Delegate Ann Kaiser, Delegate Ken Kerr, Delegate Nick Kipke, Delegate Matt Morgan, Delegate Kathy Shalega, and Delegate Denis Tavares, and Delegate Jamila Woods. Okay. With that, we will start the agenda for today, which you all should have received. There are 3 bills on the agenda, but we are holding House Bill 240. That would be me who's holding that bill. We need to do a little more work on it before we bring it back to the subcommittee. So we are going to start with House Bill 23. And Lisa, if you would tell us what the bill does.
Sure. This is a departmental bill. It requires all qualified health plans sold through the Maryland Health Benefit Exchange to include pediatric dental benefits. And there are no amendments.
Okay. Johanna, you want to speak to it a little bit? Johanna Fabian from the Maryland Health Benefit Exchange.
Hi, yes, I'm happy to. So currently all of the medical carriers that offer coverage through the exchange do include pediatric dental benefits. It's an essential health benefit. And so, but however, carriers have the option to choose not to offer it within their medical benefit package if they know that standalone dental plans that cover it are available separately. But as I mentioned, all medical carriers do include it, so this bill wouldn't change the status quo. And by ensuring that going forward, medical carriers continue to include it, we hope to avoid the potential IT system costs that would be required if we had to onboard an insurance carrier that chose not to offer pediatric dental benefits. That would require us to recalculate the way we award federal tax credits and change how we present information to consumers on the website. Additionally, we'd be concerned about consumer confusion if that were to occur with some medical carriers, including the benefit and others not, and consumers potentially thinking that they would be receiving that and accidentally finding out afterwards that their medical coverage didn't include child dental.
Okay. Thank you. Are there any questions? If you have a question, please use the raise hand function. Okay, seeing no hands, do we have a motion on this bill?
Move the bill.
Is there a
Second.
second?
Second.
Okay, I've got a couple of seconds for you, Delegate Kipke. So it's been properly moved and seconded. Is there any more discussion on the bill? Seeing none, all those in favor of the bill, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Will there be anyone voting against the bill? Seeing none, the bill passes unanimously. Thank you all very much for our first bill of the year. And now we go to House Bill 30, Health Insurance Conformity with Federal Law. Lisa, what's it do?
So this is another departmental bill. As the title suggests, it conforms Maryland health insurance law to existing federal rules and regulations. It includes consumer protection measures under the Federal No Surprises Act. It alters the material errors that trigger special enrollment in the SHOP program. It permits the exchange to adopt and expand open enrollment periods and alter effective dates for coverage. And it requires that regulations adopted by the insurance commissioner be consistent with federal regulations in effect on December 1st, 2023. There was an amendment that was distributed, which revises a date to reflect the updated definition of grandfather plan in federal law.
Okay, I have 3 representatives from the Maryland Insurance Administration here, and David Cooney is coming on camera, so I'm assuming, David, this one is yours.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. So happy to answer any questions about the bill. I mean, Lisa pretty much already covered what it does. And just to affirm, as we've said before, we do these bills every year, every couple of years as necessary. This just minimally conforms to federal law. All the health carriers have to comply with all these requirements, regardless of if this is codified in Maryland law. But it is helpful to the market and for clarity when Maryland law aligns with the language of federal law. So that's really all we're attempting to do here.
Okay. Are there any questions from the committee on the bill or the amendment? I have a question, Mr. Cooney. The amendment is related to the fact that this was another area that you've seen since the hearing that needed to be changed. Is that correct?
Not actually since the hearing. It was an area since the bill was originally introduced.
Okay.
And it was just an oversight. One of the many things that Lisa mentioned where we were updating a date from 2019 to 2023. After the bill was originally introduced, we realized there was one more of those that we missed.
Okay, so it really doesn't, it just continues to conform the our laws with the federal laws.
Exactly.
Okay. Any other questions? So do I have a motion on the amendment?
So moved.
Okay, I've got Delegate Kaiser, a second from
Second.
Delegate Taveras. Those in favor of the amendment, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye. Is there anyone who will be voting against the amendment? Seeing none, the amendment passes. Now can I have motion on the bill as amended?
So moved.
Second.
Delegate Woods moves. I've got a second, I think, from Delegate Gazzoni. Those in favor of the bill as amended, please say aye.
Aye.
And is there anyone who will be opposed to this bill as amended? Seeing none, the bill passes as amended. And that completes the work before us today. Thank you all for helping to make this a great first start, and watch your emails for future meetings. We generally meet Tuesdays, either right after session or around 11 o'clock. As the session gets tighter and tighter, we may need to add additional meetings. So are there any questions before we adjourn? Delegate Kaiser.
Yes, I know we're delaying House Bill 240. Is there any update you could give us or have people ready since this meeting is so super short? Were we here for a minute or two about the bill and maybe what's hanging out there?
I think that we're still really deeply into discussions and looking at some possible options, but I'd like for the parties to come a little closer before we open it up here.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. No, thank you. With that, this meeting is adjourned and HGO will be meeting this afternoon for a briefing at 1 o'clock, followed immediately by bill hearings. Thank you all very much. Have a great afternoon.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.